Welcome to Functional Area Agreement Coordinator Training. There are many people involved in the support agreement process. The Support Agreement Manager, or SAM. Think of this person as the conductor. The SAM is responsible for bringing together and coordinating all the other players in the process. He is responsible for preparing the documentation and administering the support agreement program. The Functional Area Agreement Coordinator, or FAC, is the subject matter expert for the services that the host can provide. They assist with identifying the level of support, assist with the preparation of the documentation, coordination, and costs. Financial Management Analyst, or FMA, and Resource Advisors are responsible for all financial aspects of the support agreement. Civil Engineers conducts environmental reviews and space utilization. What is a support agreement? The support agreement is the authenticating document which identifies the level of support by the host or supplier to the tenant or receiver. It includes the responsibilities of both parties to include the level of support provided by the host to the tenant and documents recurring day-to-day support. Why have a support agreement? It ensures resources are spent wisely and helps eliminate resource duplication. It is not cost-effective for all agencies on an installation to be self-sustaining. Having a unit designated to take care of the daily operations, the host, and support others at the location is making the most of our limited resources. The process is simple. Coming to an agreement, at times, is not. The host receives a request for support, which starts the negotiation process. At some locations, the host has developed an installation support agreement catalog. This is a pre-approved list of services that the host can provide, to what level and at what cost, if any. Using the catalog is as simple as selecting the services and routing for approval. If the host does not have a catalog or there are services required that are not listed, the support must be negotiated. The negotiation will define what services are needed and if the host can provide and define the cost. Keep in mind that some services may be required but cannot be supported by the host. In these cases, the tenant must look at other avenues for the support. When AFRC is the host, the SAM should send the draft agreement to the AFRC A1 MPR workflow box at the same time you're tasking the other unit FACs. You also need to make sure that the tenant's funded population data from their Manpower office is included with the draft support agreement. This is when Manpower will sign the Manpower certification. The certification will state there is a Manpower impact and an annex is required, or no Manpower or annex is required. When AFRC is a tenant and the host sends the draft support agreement to you, you should send it to AFRC A1 MPR workflow box when you send it to the other unit FACs for their review. The supplier's Manpower office will identify the required manpower in the Manpower annex to support any additional workload if there is any. It is hard for the active duty FSS FSMM Manpower office to talk to the MAGCOM. You need to inform AFRC whenever there is a manning impact and a Manpower annex is required. AFRC Financial Management is responsible for ensuring units are not paying for support that is already provided for in the host's budget. The type of agreement entered into determines what will or will not be paid. AFI 65601 Volume 1 identifies three types of agreements. Number 1, intra-service support. This type of support agreement is Air Force to Air Force. For example, ACC is the host and AFRC is the tenant. Number 2, inter-service support. This type of support agreement is between other DoD departments and agencies. For example, AFRC is the host and the Army is a tenant. Number 3, interagency support. Support between non-DoD departments and agencies. For example, AFRC is the host and Department of Health is a tenant. The majority of the support agreements within AFRC are intra-service, Air Force to Air Force. In these types of agreements, it is the host's responsibility to provide at no charge certain support functions common to all tenant organizations. These include, but are not limited to, security, financial services, medical, food service, procurement and contract services, and fire protection. These types of services are offered to tenant organizations at no cost since it has been incorporated into the host's annual budget. The tenant organization would pay any additional costs associated with support needed if it is over and above the common level of support. A common level of support would mean that the service provided to a tenant does not increase the cost to the host organization. So, who cares about the agreement? Wing leadership. What combined resources are available on the installation? Are we using them effectively? Support agreements. They start with a dialogue and are maintained by a relationship.